Hey guys, this is Maregaal here. Today I'm going to talk about the two contradictory accounts of how Judas Iscariot died. One version is found in Matthew 27 and the other version is found in Acts chapter 1. You can read them for yourself, but there are four things that totally contradict each other. But what Christians will do, which I'll counter, Christian apologists, whether they're backseat driver apologists or ones standing in the pulpit lying straight to your face. Anyway, they will cherry pick a fraction of each story and create their own version. Okay, this is what we're going to get into, so stay tuned, hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for watching and checking out this channel. Hey guys, this is Maregaal here, Benya Cove. Today is Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday actually, and today I want to talk about the two contradictory accounts found in the New Testament concerning how Judas Iscariot died and the things that are mentioned in details about what happened. And these two accounts are found in Matthew 27 and Acts chapter 1, okay? So if you do your homework, go ahead and look. You can push pause if you want. But before we do anything, hit the like and subscribe buttons to help this channel grow. We'll get the truth out there. And this will also counter Christian apologetics, where they just love the cherry pick and don't see reality for what it is a lot of times. So like I said, this particular video is talking about how Judas Iscariot dies and some of the details in the story. And then later on I'll counter how Christian backseat apologists and those lying to you in the pulpit will get around these problems. And which are not valid because they just kind of make their own new gospel up. Anyway, if you look in Matthew chapter 27, you will see one of these accounts. And in Matthew 27, we see Judas betraying Jesus. Okay, we got that. And he goes to the priest. What the story is, he goes to the priest, makes an arrangements with him that he'll betray Jesus for 30 shekels of silver. So he takes the money. So after Jesus gets betrayed and is arrested, Judas gets a guilt trip. Okay. And so he throws the money back. Oh, he doesn't want the money anymore. So he throws the money into the temple itself. And so he goes and hangs himself. And so in the story, there's nothing more, nothing taken away from that. There's just, that's it. That's how he dies. He hangs himself. There's no other details. That's it. So the priests, however, do not put the money inside the treasury of the temple because it's blood money. Meaning he betrayed innocent blood. Judas betrayed innocent blood. And so they buy a field with it instead and so it's called a field of blood. And simply because Judas betrayed innocent blood. Okay. End of story, and that's it. Okay. Now if you go to Acts chapter 1, it gives a whole different account. Every single aspect is different in the book of Acts. Everything's different from Matthew, which is interesting. And later on, as I'll mention later, Christians will marry the two by only cherry picking one or two things, ignoring the other contradictions, okay, that counter their third story, their homemade story. So anyway, we'll get into that. So in Acts chapter 1, what goes on? He betrays Jesus, and instead of throwing the money back, he actually goes and purchases a field with that money. And somehow, while he is in his own field, whether enjoying it or looking it over, doesn't say, doesn't specify. But anyway, he trips headlong. So he falls forward, in other words. And somehow his stomach bursts open or gets split open, gets cut open, does not say, just says it opens up, and his guts spew out as a result. And because of this gruesome manner of how he died, of his guts spewing out, and thus, i.e., his blood also, it is called a field of blood for that reason. Okay, so here you have 4 legit contradictions between the 2 stories. One is, he threw the money back. The other one said he didn't. Okay. Who bought the field? One says the priest bought the field due to him throwing the money back. The other one says he himself bought the field. Number 3 is, how did he die? According to Matthew, he died by hanging himself. By Acts, it was by some odd event and his gut spewed out, and he died as a result that way. The 4th contradiction is, why was the field of blood called the field of blood? According to Matthew, again in Matthew chapter 27, it is simply because Judas betrayed innocent blood. But according to Acts chapter 1, it is because of the gruesome death of what Judas experienced, because his guts spewed out. And so, i.e., his blood also spilled out. And so that is why it is called the field of blood. So I said to myself, well, using their reasoning and their apologetic way and style, they'll probably say, well, while Judas was hanging there, the rope broke. And the drop was so far, like maybe on a cliff or something. Anyway, the rope broke and he fell. And he fell so hard on that ground that his guts got spewed out and he died as a result. See, there's no contradictions. Nope. I'm gonna believe my own story, see. However, they just wrote off the rest of the details. What do you do about the money? Because one says he kept the money, the other one said he threw it back. One story says the field of blood is called that because he betrayed innocent money. He betrayed innocent blood. The other one is, it was called the field of blood because his guts spewed out and he had a gruesome death. But these Christian apologists will say they'll nitpick and create a third story where neither of the original stories say nothing of the sort. Nothing. There is like, okay, use the book of Acts story where his guts spewed out. There's no mention of a rope. There's no mentioning of him trying to hang himself. Who bought the field? Like I said, there's none of that. There's none of that. How would he buy a field if he threw the money back? It's like, They just don't think, and they talk to naive people who have the same, like, oh, what do you do about this? Easily swindled because they themselves might have the false notion that the Bible is inerrant and there's no errors in it, in other words. So they have to create something in their mind to make it work. So they have a story in their mind that they themselves made up, that neither of the narratives say anything of the sort. So there's your contradiction, a blatant contradiction between the two stories, okay? Just to recap, to say it again, you cannot, cherry pick what you want and create a brand new story. One blatantly says he betrayed Jesus for 30 shekels of silver. He threw the money back and he hanged himself. Then the priest who collected the money bought a field with that money to bury the dead. That's what it says. And so because Judas betrayed innocent blood, that is why the field is called Field of Blood. Okay, now you go to Book of Acts. He doesn't throw the money back. He keeps the money. He buys a field with it. So he's sole ownership of that field, and somehow, for some reason, he somehow trips or falls somehow over a rock or something sharp, or some curse of an angel. Doesn't get into it, as into how his stomach gets split open. But it says his stomach gets split open, his guts spew out as a result, and that is why it's called a field of blood. It's totally different. So, like I said, so there's your contradiction. I mean, I could just end the video, but I mean, if you go down the comments over and over and over again, I mean, the hoorah of all this backseat apologetics that goes on, it's pathetic. Just see it for what it is. The only thing you could literally come away with, the only thing that you could actually come away with is sometime around Jesus' crucifixion, Judas somehow dies, and he is no more a part of the 12 disciples. In other words, you could word it in a different way, is the first apostle to die. But we're not really sure how he died. But they both agree he betrayed Jesus. And they both agree he died. They can't agree on anything else. Not how he died. Or what happened with the money. Or why the field is called what it is. Okay. So, like I said, the only two things you could walk away with is he died sometime around the crucifixion time. And there's a field involved, and whatever else I said. And he betrayed Jesus. He was the first one to die of the apostles. So anyway, that's it. That's all you got to say. I'll let you do the rest. I'll read all the unique commentary in the comment section. But anyway, you guys just got to deal with it. Sorry. And this. The Bible is not inerrant. I'm sorry. It's not the word of God at all. If God actually pins something down, you cannot counter it. It stands on its own. All right. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button and help this channel to grow, to get the real truth out there, to show people this is not the word of God, period. Okay? It's not. I'll get more into other things and contradictions and teachings about the Bible in videos to come. Thank you again. Thanks.